there. Good afternoon, good morning, and maybe good night, depending on what part of the world that you're in. I am Penny Reed, and I am super excited today to be with several of my friends, some of the smartest and most talented dental office managers that I know. And so wave at everybody. So there you go. So we've got participants that are coming on here. Oh, yeah, Tiffany is saying, beautiful ladies. Deborah Nash has already raised her hand. Is that a high five or do you already have a question? We love you. Thank you guys for tuning in. We've got about a minute until the top of the hour. And rather than Jennifer and Shelly and Christy, even though I've already said your names, rather than doing formal introductions, why don't you guys catch up with each other for a second here while I get us on the Facebook Live feed?
Sure. Hey guys,
why are you all wearing makeup?
So fun. I can't wait. We've got so much to share today. It's going to be awesome. Really excited.
To do it with some of the best people ever.
Oh, I see Tiffany was on there. Hi, Tiffany.
Hey,
we missed you.
Hey,
so fun.
Deborah, you're not wearing makeup?
No. Oh no, I'm sure Deborah's wearing makeup. Mm-hmm. I just am thinking if you guys put makeup on for me, I'm honored. So I've got right here at the top of the hour, we're about to get the live feed up. You three dynamos here, what is something exciting or interesting or funny that you've seen on Facebook today or that's happened in the last couple of days? Let's just little social time here while I'm multitasking.
I love I'm homeschooling my 8-year-old, so I love all the homeschooling memes that are coming through because I can so relate as a parent how hard this is to do, and props to the teachers, because if I want to be a teacher, I would have been one, and I have no idea how they do it with 23 of them if I can't even handle my one. So props out to the teachers. The homeschool memes are great. They're really fun.
Yeah. And I love the talking dogs. Oh my gosh, like I'm losing it. I haven't tried it with my dogs yet, but oh my gosh, those are gold.
So Christy, I have it on the other end because my husband's a high school teacher. So he's down and he's in a Zoom meeting with all of his kids right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Bless him. Bless him. I'm telling you, that is a tough job. Tough job.
Can you imagine working for Zoom now?
I wish I bought stock in Zoom.
Their stock has gone up. It's zoomed up.
Yeah, no kidding. It was funny. I had a question, was trying to figure out, because during story time with Penny, which I'm not sure how many of those of you on the webinar, you may be like, what are you talking about? In Magical Dental Teams, every morning at 9:00 Central, I've been doing a little reading from a motivational book, right? Trying to keep us all focused on the positive. And every now and then the feed will break. So I opened up the Zoom chat last night, tech support. It said I was number 333 in the queue. I figure if I left that thing open, I would still be waiting. So, all right. Well, welcome. Thank you guys for joining us. And I titled today's session, which is more like a discussion than a class, practical tips or practical advice from magical dental office managers. And for those of you that may think, okay, is Penny Reed really that crazy that she's using the term magical? Yes, I am. And when we've got the right culture in place, the right team in place, the right leadership, magic happens in a practice. And these three, who I'll formally introduce here in a moment, are definitely those types of leaders. And today's session's really going to be filled with a lot of the positive things about what we can do. So we are intentionally avoiding some of the, as I like to call, the day-to-day muck that is happening now. And it's day-to-day because it seems like it changes every day. So we're going to focus on what we can control. So I'm not sure if the order of the screens is the same for everyone. I am going to go in alphabetical order by last name. Woo! Yeah, that might even give me a headache. That was pretty complicated. So Christy Abrahamson, how'd I do?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Awesome. So Christy, for those that may not know you, would you share with them what part of the country you're in and the practice that you manage? Tell us a little
Sure,
bit.
absolutely. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is out in California. And I am the practice manager, office manager for Gila DeRoscar Pediatric Dentistry. We have 3 amazing doctors. I have a team of 15. We have 2 locations, and we are a fee-for-service practice. So we come from a different perspective than I think the other 2, Shelly and Jen. So I think you have a really well-rounded panel here today. I think it's going to be
do, don't we? Yeah, it's really exciting. And so we'll identify your nicknames after everyone's introduced themselves. So I know you didn't share what your nickname was, and we have props. Can you even stand it? It's so fun.
No.
Okay. All right. Next we have Shelly Oddie. Shelly, tell everyone what part of the world you're in and a little bit about your practice.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shelly Oddie, and I now reside in Monument, Colorado. So we're just north of Colorado Springs, real close to the Air Force Academy. And I am the practice leader at Mountain Wellness Dentistry. It is a private practice. We take a few insurance, so a little different than Christy being fee for service, but I did come previously from Kansas City with a practice that was fee for service. So have a background in both, and also I'm currently a fellow with ADOM, as these beautiful ladies are as well. And all 3 of us are currently submitting our applications to ADOM, which is the American Association of Dental Office Management. Big shout out to them. And we're going for our mastership in dental office management. So exciting times.
That's awesome. Okay.
And we are, in my practice that we are more of a holistic biological office, integrating things like ozone therapy, smart amalgam removal. So, and doing all kinds of general dentistry as well.
Okay, fantastic. And last but not least, Jennifer Stedman. Hey, Jennifer.
Hey.
Tell us a little bit about what part of the country you're in and your organization that you're with.
Yeah, so I reside in the Boston, Massachusetts area. I am the Director of Affiliations and Business Development for New England Dental Partners. So we currently have 12 offices, and we're a growing team, which we love. And it definitely keeps us busy, so I have 8 practice managers that I work with all the time. I started off as a dental hygienist or dental assistant, then hygienist, then practice manager, and just grew from there. So I think all 3 of us, we all have a clinical background too. So we understand that aspect of it. And we really enjoy what we do. And the 3 of us we met from going to ADOM, going to the conference. So.
Awesome. And so I would imagine all of you know what ADOM is. You may think, what in the world? But in case you don't, it is the American Association for Dental Office Managers. That is how we all met. That's how these 3 met. I got invited into the party because I was chatting with Shelly Oddie, and I said, I'd love to do a webinar or do a Facebook Live with you. And she says, oh, well, we need to bring my buddies. We need to bring the whole peanut butter and jelly and chips. So go ahead, do the reveal. Who's who? Yes. So yeah. And is there a symbolism behind Shelly, your peanut butter, because you are
the nutty one?
Christy is jelly because you are.
They say I'm sticky. I'm kind of sticky. Sweet sounds a little nicer.
I like sweet better than sticky. Sticky almost sounds like stinky.
Well, I stick to you and I can't get off you.
There you go. There you go. You stick by your friends.
That's right.
And chips.
Apparently I'm salty. So
Are you salty?
The sass.
what I'm told.
So yesterday when we had our practice session, we were talking. I was like, what can I be? And at first we thought that I would be a cosmopolitan, but I'm not really sure what beverage goes with peanut butter, jelly, and chips. So today I'm the bartender. If you stay on till the end, not that it's that exciting, but I'll let you know I've not been partaking of anything out of this yet. right? But you just
So
never
we
know
all, we all are
what
having
I'm going
our
to
drinks.
mix up. All right. So so let's dig in. Thank you guys so much for being here. And really our the essence of our discussion today is going to center around two things. And one is how during this time that I just like to refer to as the battle of the bug, because I'm really tired of hearing those C words, the battle of the bug. What can we do to be sure that we're taking the best care of our patients? And then what can we do to be sure that we're taking the best care of our team? Because really, without those two things, the dentistry part would never happen. So I think we may kick it off a little bit on the staying connected with patients. Shelley, I think you were going to go first on this one. And on both topics, I want everyone to contribute. So I'll keep an eye on the Q&A if you guys want to use the you attendees want to use the Q&A, and also to let you guys know we are recording this, and later after we've made sure that the edges are not rough, we'll upload the link and put it on Facebook on the Magical Dental Teams group, and then you guys can share it. So Shelley, would you like to share some of your tips or what you guys have been doing to stay connected and be sure patients are taken care of?
Absolutely. The patients are so important. Anyone that knows me, my patients are like my family, just like my team is. And it's it's why I get up every morning and I go in the office. I mean, every single patient that comes in, it brings something special to my life, and I hope to do the same for them. So it's extremely important for me and our team to stay connected to our patients. And the first way, when all of this started happening a few weeks ago, it was, what do we do with the schedule? How do we tell people, what's essential, what's not essential? And for us, everything is, the care that we provide is absolutely essential, but we had to, break that down and decide, what is emergencies going by ADA guidelines and all of that, really define that and started making phone calls. And it was important to me. We have wonderful technology with RevenueWell and Weave that we work with, which we are utilizing. Absolutely couldn't do it without them, but it was so important for me to reach out to every single patient that was scheduled individually so that they heard my voice. If I had to leave a message, requesting that they call me back, because I personally wanted to speak with them, answer any concerns that they may have, and just let them know that, we're here, we're present, we're not going anywhere. So that was number one of most important. So, for me, the way that I went about it to organize for my brain, which everyone has been doing it a little different. Some people are leaving patients on the schedule so that when they start back up, they're going to call and they know where to put people. I did printouts of our schedule. We have Open Dental, very user friendly. I was able to write my notes by each patient so that I could remember, who I did get to personally speak with, what requests that they had. Some people requested they wanted to wait till June no matter what. Everyone had, a little something different, but the overall theme of 99% of the people that I talked to was just appreciation for us personally reaching out. They appreciated the concern that we had for their safety and their health. And that held a lot of value for them. Mm-hmm. And then it gave me that opportunity also to find out, do you need anything? Who's using a prescription mouth rinse that we have in the office, who maybe had a lab case that was something that I could deliver. Maybe it was clear aligner trays, maybe it was a denture, which I did personally go to a retirement community that was on lockdown for a gentleman that we were just repairing his denture, and was able to drop that off. And in that conversation, asking him if him and his wife were okay. Did they need anything? Did they need toilet paper? Did they need toothpaste? Anything that I could do to provide. This was, early on, and it was, what can I do for you? Because we do care. And that was so important to convey to them. We are seeing emergency patients. So everyone that I've talked to, when I was calling to take them off of the schedule for their preventative care, I let them know, not only are we here for you and your family, but if you know someone, a friend, a coworker, whatever it may be, please don't have them hesitate to call us. Our numbers are on our voicemail, my cell phone number, the doctor's cell phone number. You can reach us. We are accessible to you, even if we're not in the office. And so I made that message, crystal clear to everyone that we're not going anywhere, that, whether this is 1 week or 6 weeks, whatever it may be, we're their provider. We care about them. And that was just vital. And staying connected on social media with people. We work with Grace Rizza in Identity Dental Marketing. Major shout out to her and her team. They have been just tireless in what they're doing to stay connected to the dental practices they work with, and helping us navigate through that as well, so that we can stay connected. Because the most important thing is when we open our doors back up, that there's not a second guess in any one of our patients' mind who they're going to call, who they want to come back and see. And it's because we've been available to them, we've stayed connected to them, and we've shown them that we've cared. So that's been the most important thing for us.
I think that's awesome. And one thing that I want to acknowledge from what you said, because I think it's so true and very powerful. And I know Christy and Jennifer, you guys may be using different systems and want to speak to some other things that you're doing with the technology. One of the worst things that we could do is to disconnect something like Weave or Revenue Well, Salute, because that is the last thing we want, especially when I think about something that's also a phone system. Can you imagine your patients calling, you're not there? And then if you were to have any disruption in your service with communication, them getting the boop, 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 so I think truly not disconnecting, even though it can be hard, because none of us right now, at least I don't think, or any of the three of you doing what you would normally be doing at this time of day on a Thursday.
No.
Right. So I think the connection is huge. And thank you, Shelley, for speaking to that. So who would like to go next to mention some of the things that you guys are doing? Christy or Jennifer?
I'll go.
Okay.
We are the Jive phone system. Which I really love about the Jive system is that we have our phone calls as they come in. You have the option to, for instance, we have our doctor on call. You push 1. If you want to speak to me, you push 2. And so at any time it goes, then rings to my phone, and you're always going to hear somebody available to you. Very similar to Shelley's belief, and I'm sure Jen's too, is that we want to be there for our patients. We want them to know that we care about them. Maybe putting on our what we have on our webpage, what's happening during this time. We are, our kind of thought is, we're getting so many messages through social media about COVID-19 and about, the things that we're doing to, just like everybody else is, that generic message that's being sent out. However, we want to make sure that we're supplying our patients with information that will be helpful to them at this time. So what we're doing is we are creating YouTube videos. We're showing patients that if you have an emergency and you fall down and you break a tooth, what kind of photos and images would be really helpful to use that you can send to us so that we can help you. Mm-hmm. So our amazing Dr. Sheila, she actually created a few minute YouTube video on how to take pictures using spoons that you have in your kitchen, using, she's had examples of how you can retract the lips and what angles of photographs that she's looking at. So if we do have a little nugget that falls down and breaks a tooth, that we can show the parents exactly what images we need. So we're trying to give them information that's useful to them in this time, but also to keep in mind too, is using it as a tool, because now we're all on the internet. Now we're all trying to stay connected to our patients. A great time to educate our patients on what we want them to know. The difference between a manual toothbrush and an electric toothbrush. The differences are why it's important to floss, because now more than ever, with everybody having their hygiene appointments delayed, it's so important for home care. And so that's part of the message that we want to drive out and still make sure that we connect with our patients. But yes, that personal touch, that relationships that Shelley's building, even delivering that denture, which I think is wonderful, Shelley, but I have to say that's part of who you are too, to do that. But establishing those relationships, because that's what we are. We're a relationship builder for our practice to our patients.
That's awesome. And I love that you guys have created that YouTube channel. I think any of us that come out on the other side of this and have not up a social media or technology skill or two missed an opportunity. I mean, I have clients that normally have not been on social media. One of my clients that has twin boys that are almost 3, and he was mentioning that I guess he went to Walmart, right? Because where else can you go and get something like this other than a place that has groceries? Or maybe he ordered it, got the Play-Doh Dr. Drill and Fill. And so he's like, we're going to be doing some things with Dr. Drill and Fill and probably putting that on social media. So that can be a positive thing to come out of this icky time, right? Is that we're learning how to better engage when we can't be face to face. So that's awesome. All right. So, not that we can't go back around with this, but Jennifer, what would you like to share that you guys are doing to stay connected with your patients?
Yeah, so one thing we did similar to what Christy did, we want our patients to know too what we've always done to keep them safe. So we created a video on infection control, and we wear PPE, how we're testing everything, just for them to understand that we have always had their best interests at heart. We're going to continue to do everything that we can to keep them safe. And we know that things might change with infection control after all of this, but we're always going to be here to do what's best for them. The other thing that we did too is that a lot of our patients are small business owners, but they might not have the resources that we have as a larger company. So we, came up with an email to send to all of our patients, and that way they could pass along those resources. Even if they weren't a small business owner, they could pass along to their friends and family, specific to our state, filing for unemployment or small business loans, just anything that we had, just pushed it out there. So that way they have the resources if they need them.
Yeah, I think that is so powerful. And to remember that we're all our patients too, right? If they are not less busy at work, then they're in a line of work, probably like healthcare or grocery, that's being hit really hard right now. So I think that's wonderful, to show that at the end of the day, they could go many places to have dental care done, yet we want them, they're like family. And I'm sure you guys would agree, a lot of your patients interact with you like family. And just because we go out of town, so to speak, right, we don't want them to feel like we've just shuttered the place up and we're gone. Any specific things centered still around the patient part, whether it's a social media, suggestions of things that you've done, additional things like that, or campaigns that you've sent out, how you may be engaging your patients through Weave, Revenue Well, Solution, fill in the blank, your patient relationship manager. Any other ideas or things that you guys have done or have in the works?
I know our team members are doing, I've asked them to go ahead and do like a photo montage of what they've been up to this last few weeks, and then sharing that with the team, and they're relaying the message that they miss our patients. Genuinely, they miss our patients and they can't wait to see them again. And so it's really nice, I think, for everyone to see exactly what we've been up to, kind of put that more personal touch on it, because it's all, again, about building relationships and creating that personal touch. How about for you or Shelly or Jen?
Yeah, I think, for positioning for reopening and helping put our patients' mind at ease for their health and their safety is what we're planning. I mean, yes, we're doing, social media things in between, like Christy's doing and Jen's doing, and wanting to stay connected on that way in a very fun and lighthearted way, because I think that's the best medicine right now for everyone is laughter and love and kindness. And we need to just, Jen has a great idea about that being contagious. And it's true. That part is so important. But as we get beyond this to where we are reopening, we are going to be working, like, again, with Grace Rizza, with marketing and how to campaign for putting a message out to our patients, what we've done all along, keeping it simple, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, about this is what we've always done, but how we are layering on additional things that through this we have all learned and grown in our knowledge on, and really putting out for us, it's ozone therapy, letting people know how we're layering that in with already what we're doing for their safety and for their health, as kind of a reintroduction to opening our doors again.
Mm-hmm. What suggestions, and I want to be careful about how I frame this, because my hope is that dentists are tuned in, and that, oh yeah, by the way, Christy is kind of a big deal with a big
Well,
cup.
my team is kind of a big deal.
Her team is kind of a big deal, and
Very good.
I'm the bartender. No.
And my shout out to all my Texas peeps. You know who you all.
For the
At
Buckeyes.
Buc-ee's. If you don't know Buc-ee's, you need
Oh,
to know
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
I thought it was it's Buc-ee's.
It's Buc-ee's. Bucky the Beaver.
I
Y'all
love
haven't
it.
been, you need to go.
Need to go. Well, right now, yeah. Hey, I look forward to going anywhere.
right.
You know, I may even get dressed up from now on when I go to Walmart or the grocery store.
The mailbox.
Why not? Right? Oh, do I have on the right shoes? Do my shoes match my outfit to go to the mailbox? So hopefully we have some dentists tuning in now, or this may be something that could be shared with them. I think it's really important that the dentist, it's not only the practice stays present on social media and engaging with our technology with the patients, but also the dentist. So have any things that you guys have done? Maybe I know, Christy, you mentioned that your doctor has, or your doctors are doing these videos, other things that you guys have done or are planning to do so that your patients are seeing the doctors on social media or in your email campaigns during this time?
Well, I know I'm going to take some of Christy's ideas and use some of those. So.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Bring it. Yeah.
That's why we're having the conference.
That's right.
We get by with a little help from our friends, and
Yeah.
I've not started drinking during the day yet.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I like to say.
Yes.
Yet.
Yet.
I know that our doctor is amazing. They are actually sending emails to our team, just kind of with little running updates. And of course, as Penny, you mentioned, everything is fluid and we don't know deadlines or startup dates again, but kind of even personalizing it, letting them know what they're doing in this downtime. And then from that, letting us know the points that our team needs to make. And Shelley had mentioned sometime to me before about how important it was that the doctor stays connected with the team. It shouldn't always come from the practice manager. It should also come from the doctor, because they are our leaders. We're there to serve with them. However, it's important that they also put a little face to this too, and it's important for the team. And I think my doctor does an amazing job doing that. And our general manager, John, he's fantastic about keeping that up. But that's really important for doctors to hear. It shouldn't just come from myself, Jennifer, Shelley, Penny. It needs to come from the doctors themselves to have that message.
I agree completely. My Dr. Yell is, he's been great with staying connected with all of us, but in addition to that, so is his wife. I'm one of those really lucky practice managers that gets to have an awesome doctor who has an awesome wife. And what she does, she has what's called basement boot camp. She is a fitness instructor. And so she's doing Zoom fitness workouts and has invited every single one of us on our team to join for virtual boot camp workouts. And just knowing that she cares about us, our health and our sanity through all of this, it's amazing that they're, in united front on this. So, this speaks volumes.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, Jennifer, you were going to say something as well.
Yeah, being transparent is what's most important. And at the end of all of this, it's going to, obviously our patients are going to come back, but our team is the one that are going to be there to support us through this. So we
Absolutely.
want to make sure that everyone is communicating.
Absolutely. And I think that's a perfect segue. And we've talked about it a little bit. Christy, you mentioned doing the, having the team participate, doing the montage of sort of what they've been doing to utilize on social media, the doctors also engaging with the team. And I think, to be mindful, because we're all, and I think the vulnerability, there is not one of us that is beyond experiencing stress or pressure with this. Everybody's is different, but it's all relative, right? And then we've got the dental business owners, right, that are trying to make those decisions, not to mention what they've got going on with their family. Theirs tends to be on a greater scale. So they may be so stressed, especially the introverts, right? Practice is closed, can't see patients, not seeing team, boom, right? complete shutdown. And I would encourage, they're probably not the ones that are tuned into this or even watching this, would encourage them, reach out to a member on your team that's good at that sort of thing to help you be visible to your team, because they need to see you. They need to know that, you know what, we don't know what it will look like, and we're all going through some stuff, but it's going to be okay. You know, we're going to be together. We're still going to take care of people, and it may be different, but we're going to be okay. And I have to remind that's one reason why I'm keeping busy on social media, right? It doesn't give me time to think about some of the things that I can't control. And we need each other in that connection and community. So I'm trying to remember who was going to go first with this. I think it's Jennifer. I wanted to mention a couple of things that have come up from our attendees in the chat. Deborah Englehart Nash, who is both a consultant, a practice manager, dental spouse, said, our team is having a virtual scavenger hunt. They have to submit photos of items I have listed. They are having a blast. I may include patients.
That's very cool.
That's
That's really cool.
Wonderful idea. And then Tiffany Dalton says, we have weekly Zoom team meetings, lets our team stay in touch, and they have social family feel of how we're all going through this together. She also checks in with them individually at least once a week to see if there's anything they want to talk about or need to know that they didn't want the whole group to know, just like Jennifer's published article. Whoop, whoop. Yes. So Jennifer, share with us some of your tips, and also tell those tuning in where they can find your article.
Yeah, absolutely. So my article is on ADOM's page under the COVID-19 resources on there. For me, because I manage multi-locations, staying present when you can't be present is extremely important. So some of these things we've been doing for years. So I said, you know what, I'm going to write an article and see what I can do to help everyone out. But, you know, like Tiffany was saying, it's really important to obviously touch base with each team member on an individual basis as well, because in a group setting, people might not speak up, right? So we want to make sure that we're touching base with each team member. It might be just a quick text. I personally like a phone call. If I can't be with you face to face, a phone call is important. You can't hear the tone of my voice. You don't know what the message is completely if it's just by text or by email. So I like to pick up the phone and call. The other thing that we've been doing is having our coffee breaks. So we're all really busy, but we have our coffee break, and yep, there you go, Christy. Or your happy hour, whichever you choose. But we say our one rule is no work talk allowed. So it's just time for us just to chat together, because honestly, we usually see our work family more than we see our own family. So it's switched a little bit now because we're all seeing our families more. So it's really important for us to see each other. Mm-hmm. And again, just stay present, right? One thing that I think I'm going to try to do next week, this is a little, something from my team, but we're going to do a spirit week. So there's a few different things you can do. You could do like a coworker day or coworker, because it's your family, right? So have your family come into the video with you, have your kids, your dog, your fur babies. You could do a spirit day and have it be a Disney day, right? So have everyone dress up in their Disney stuff, their tiaras, right? I know. Or crazy sock day, crazy hair day. There you go.
Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Okay, go ahead.
But honestly, we are all having a few crazy hair day moments. Not today, because we're all. But there's so many different things that you could do just to stay present with your team. But again, transparency is what's most important, right? So we like to send an email once a week just with everything, as much information as we can, resources if anyone needs to reach out to HR or to their practice managers or to myself, just so everyone knows that we're always there. The other thing we did too, we created a COVID-19 survival kit. So we use Google. So on our Google Drive, we have our little survival kit, and we have different folders. We have like positive pictures and videos, rad recipes, homeschooling or not homeschooling, and just some arts and crafts stuff. So team members can share what they're doing with the team now, and put some stuff out there so they can still kind of be together without physically being together. So
That's awesome. Like drink recipes, literally everybody, you guys are going to be sending me links to rehab. I promise it's just the whole cocktail shaker theme.
We all have to portion control sometimes, I'm finding. So I put recipes in there for, a chocolate cake in a mug. It's individual.
I love that.
Make a whole chocolate cake and eat it in a whole setting, which we all, might have time to do now, but we don't want to do that. And just different things like that, just to keep it fun.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. And I want to encourage you guys before I have Shelly, you and Christy comment on this, not only to check out Jennifer's article and ADOM did not ask us to do this, but again, we would not be here visiting and talking with you if it were not for the American Association of Dental Office Managers. So that's dentalmanagers.com. And they also have and I believe I put it on, I'll put it on the notes with this. They also have if you have never been a member, they have a free membership for a year that you can sign up for. I think it's like hashtag ADOM cares, or if you go to dentalmanagers.com, I'm sure you'll see it. And this is what it's about, right? It's the community, it's the tribe, just like your patients are part of your tribe, your team's part of your tribe. If you think that any of us, and I think I can speak for them, showing up with our makeup on and our hair done right, and it's like, oh, yeah, we have no clue what's going on outside. We do, right? But we've got to have each other to lean on, and I love the checking in. It's one thing to send the email. It's another thing to do the text or the voice, the Zoom calls, or I'm telling you, if it were not for Marco Polo, the Marco Polo app with a couple of my consulting buddies, Dana Watson and Deborah Nash. I mean, if we're not okay, even if we act like we're okay, we can tell. Of course, half the time we're in our, we're having coffee and in our pajamas and our hair's going everywhere. But, the tone of voice, without that, in those close relationships. So it's not only about the association, ADOM, but your friendship, right? The three of you being able to lean on each other. We've got to have each other right now. That's what's going to have us come through this with at least maybe as much sanity as we had when we went into it. So,
yeah. There's no question. And they are giving away complimentary memberships through April 15th. So what an incredible time to take advantage of that for dentists that are out there, or office managers that are looking for resources, CEs, different things. I mean, they're doing constant live feeds. I mean, it's amazing what content they're putting out there. But then in their resource library and, articles that have been published, everything, it's a plethora of information. I mean, you could get lost in it, but you can navigate it so easy with how they have it organized and what they're offering. It's an unbelievable resource. And when I first got involved in it a few years ago, because Joanne Miles, a dear friend of mine, told me, you got to be part of this. I had no idea how life-changing, professionally and personally, the ADOM would be. It absolutely, the trajectory that it put me on, it's unbelievable. And I'm so grateful to all the people that lead ADOM, and then the people that I've connected with, some of them just social on, virtually on Facebook, but those people are just as important as the people that I've, been able to in person develop, friendships with. I mean, these are lifelong friendships, but what we give each other, talking each other off a ledge when we're, feeling stressed, giving resources, encouraging each other, it's remarkable. It really is. And I encourage everyone to get involved in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right now, we all just need some positivity and, some uplifting vibes. And that's what ADOM always has been. It's really great to have people that understand you and what you're going through, right? If it wasn't for ADOM, I never would have met these two lovely ladies down here, my besties. And I never would have met Penny, because I met Penny at ADOM. So it's really
We
cool.
did not meet in rehab. Just for the record, I haven't been to rehab yet.
Yet.
But it's a lot of fun, you know. It's like who can say that their besties live, you know, in Colorado and California, and I'm in Boston. So yeah, sports teams, we don't always agree, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's
Super
just
Bowl,
what keeps it
Kansas
interesting.
City, Super Bowl champs.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, don't make me come over there and do the Heimlich. As far away as you are, you might not make it. I'm laughing. Jane Walkley put on there the ledge.
Yeah, Jane and I have walked each other off the ledge a couple times already going through this mastership program with ADOM. And I know Kim McQueen and everyone at ADOM, they're going to do something really special for this ceremony in September in Boca. But all of us ADOM people are planning something special too. I mean, this is like a hand in hand, do this together, because we couldn't have done it without each other kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And Jane is a huge cheerleader. Do you guys not agree? She's amazing.
Jane for class president.
Jane, she's our woman. If she can't do it, no one can. That didn't rhyme. Okay. But look at how we were all clapping in unison. We didn't even practice that. Okay, so back to the even though I'm all over the place, I can normally just bring it back, right? Let's just bring it back. Yeah, bring it back. So, Christy, any other thoughts, comments, ideas regarding staying connected with the team during this time that maybe we have not touched on yet?
You know, the team, I feel that I've shared what I need to about the team, but it also, don't forget, it broadens out to our community. Everybody, my son goes to the local school here. Everybody knows that I work for the most amazing pediatric dentist. And they affiliate me with my practice. And so what I did, like, I don't know, do you guys have Nextdoor where you guys are? Do y'all have Nextdoor?
Is that where you get the alerts when weird stuff is happening in your neighborhood?
Yeah, weird stuff is happening. But we have this thing out here in California. I don't know if it's nationwide, but do you guys do howling at 8 o'clock at night? Do y'all do that?
No.
Okay, so
I don't do it yet. Go ahead.
You don't do it yet. At 8 o'clock at night, everybody goes out on the porch. It's kind of like a tribute to the first responders and our doctors, but everybody goes out on the porch at 8 o'clock at night and we all howl like wolves. And you can hear it from such far distances. And it's so cool because you know that you're still a part of the community, even though you're separated. And my son asked for pizza, so I was supporting our local pizza place last night. And we have a patient who came to us because she's our neighbor, but she's got 2 little nuggets. My husband and I were like, we're just gonna buy her pizza. So we bought her a pizza. She didn't even know it. We left it on her doorstep, rang the doorbell, stepped back, 6 feet and said, hey, we got you dinner tonight. And she was so thankful. But just don't forget to stay, luckily she's also a patient, but don't forget to stay involved in your community as well. Even just getting out on your porch. I'm gonna have Jen and Shelly and Penny, you all get out there at 8 o'clock tonight and howl and see how many complaints you get.
I'm totally doing it. I'm doing it. We have 3 or 4 police officers that live in our neighborhood. So you might be getting a message from me for bail money.
From jail? Yeah. I got you, girl. I got you.
Yeah, you got my back. Just want to, any other comments or suggestions, tips on staying connected with the team? So here would be, and I'm throwing, I love to just bring stuff up because we did have a planning call for today. You might not have known that, but we actually met yesterday. All of this inspiration didn't just happen magically. A lot of it did. If we were to have a commitment to each other, like those of us that are committed to the practice, the team, the patients, each other, what would be a tip when you feel yourself getting toward the ledge? I mean, even if you reach out to someone else, it doesn't mean that you're not going to roll around in the pig puddle and unintentionally drag them down with you. So, I mean, is there a rule of thumb, which sometimes I'll say, I'm not saying that I do it. Okay, let's talk about, I've got to get this, or like a cat that needs to cough up a hairball. How's that for a nice little, in case some of you just ate lunch or we're about to, you got to get that out of the way. But for every negative thing that crosses my mind or that I share, I've got to think of 2 positives. I mean, what sort of inspirational, not necessarily from the, oh, everything's great, but like real world, what is helping you mentally from a mindset standpoint, not just stare at the, off the ledge? What are you telling yourself that you would recommend maybe others practice?
I usually just try and not talk about what's going on. I feel personally like I had a small little breakdown yesterday. I just felt so much negativity from what I'm hearing on the news, and I just needed a brain break. So one of the things that I'm doing is I still want to keep my brain active. I still need that communication and that knowledge. And so I signed up for a master class. I don't know if you guys know that website where you can learn. I took a class on negotiation from an FBI negotiator, Chris Voss, and I'm going to use it on my kid. I'm just trying to keep my sanity. Like, yeah, I can negotiate with you now, right? Bedtime, it's not 10, it's now 8, right? So I'm learning new techniques just from trying to take a brain break from everything that's going on and doing things like masterclass or texting one of my besties, Kelly. I'll text her and I'll say, hey, let's just banter back and forth a little bit, just to kind of step away. But it gets to you. I know, like Jane was talking about, she got on the ledge yesterday, and sometimes you just need to rely on your friends. And luckily we have good ones.
And I'd say for me, it's Krisha, that was awesome. I totally, you're gonna teach me some of these negotiation skills. And, use it on my husband. I think the most important thing for me is being mindful, being present in all of this, giving it a name or giving it acknowledgement in my feelings, but then giving it grace. We all deserve so much grace during this situation. I mean, just in general, we do. And I have to give that to others, but then also give that to myself. So that's really important for me, to allow myself to, go through the range of emotions that I may be having. I know this, the storm will pass, just like many things in my, 29 years of life. They pass,
I would like to know where you got your calculator and your calendar. I would like those, please.
I'll share it with you. It's a really good one. You gotta work with what you got. But yeah, really it is. It's allowing that grace to each other and ourselves through all of this.
Very true.
I'll jump on the negotiation. So shout out to my dad, who is a hostage negotiator and a detective for many years. So I use some of those tactics in my interviews, but that's a story for a different day.
Wow.
But for me, I have a huge team that it's a heavy weight for me. So my biggest thing is making sure that they're okay, and making sure obviously that my family is okay. So I have 2 little ones. I have a 4-year-old and almost 2-year-old. So obviously they don't understand what's going on. My 4-year-old is very smart and she has an idea of things, and she can't play with her best friend or neighbor, social distancing. So our driveways are parallel. So they stay in their separate driveways and go up and down. But, explaining it to her, but just spending time with them. That's I'm just looking for the positive in everything. So I've been eating breakfast with my girls and, having dinner with the family. And I'm just looking at trying to just stay positive and just look at the positive in everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's awesome. No, I've thought about how much what is going on in the world, in our country and the world is going to impact. My girls are 21 and 20. Right. And so I don't think hey, I'll be 52 in a couple of months. Right. I don't remember there being anything like this. This is going to shape the future. Right. And in a lot of ways, I think it will shape it positively. And I agree. That's what we've got to focus on. As far as classes, I signed up for Judy Carter. I don't know if you guys know who this is. She wrote the Comedy Bible. She wrote the New Comedy Bible. She's written a book called The Message of You, and she has a Message of You University, which she's offering at no charge because, she's a speaker and a comedian. As she says right now, she's unemployed, right? So I'm taking that class on Tuesdays during a time when I would normally have coaching calls. So I don't
Speaking
know.
of good deals in books, Penny,
I was gonna say.
you have one of your books. The book,
Yes. Thank you.
If
you.
y'all don't have this book
all
that
right.
Penny wrote,
I happen to have one right here. So
essential for
my
your
book,
business.
Growing Your Dental Business. So this book's been out for a little bit, but if you've not read it, it's still news. The Kindle version, which you can get immediately, right? It won't be one that I've touched, that you would have to disinfect. You can get it's 99. Sorry, I can't, I just need to be around people. This is what begins to happen to me when I'm not around people. The Kindle version, you can go on Amazon and get it. It's 99 cents throughout the entire month of April. I would love it if if someone in every dental practice, the office manager or the dentist, had that book and read that book, because some practices are faring better than others now. And a lot of it is because they know their numbers, and they're regularly looking at things like that. They know what the routine things are that need to happen to grow and sustain a healthy practice. So 99 cents. I even created a little short code for those people that may not be that familiar with Amazon. So if you think about the phrase, when the going get tough, right? This is www.thetoughgetgrowing.com. Go straight to the little 99 cent. And if you like it, I would love it if you would review it. That would be awesome. If you don't like it, don't review it. Just send me an email. But thank you for bringing that up. And yeah, I would love for during this time downloaded yesterday. Way to go, Tiffany.
Yay, Tiffany. It's awesome, Tiffany. You'll love it.
Don't count for anything, but 500 points for you. This is a time when, again, I've been trying to, because again, we're all going through something. I want to think about 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now. And I believe that you guys shared the same mindset. What am I going to wish that I had done during this season, right? To improve something at the office, to improve something for myself. And I think it's the journey. And I'll also give a plug for, if you have not tuned into Storytime with Penny, whether you do it or not, that book, Peaks and Valleys, it's an awesome book by Spencer Johnson, same fellow that wrote Who Moved My Cheese. And it dawned on me this morning when I was reading through chapter 6, how eerily relevant what we were reading has to do with what we're going through right now. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. So I know we've got we planned on being on here for an hour, and we've seen a lot of the comments here in the chat. We're not sure yet when, meaning the four of us, but we have a plan to do another one of these. You guys can let us know, hey, that would be awesome, right? We can get the word out. What we were thinking about for the agenda for next time, and my thought is, if you guys want to chime in and put either in the chats or in the question, what some questions are that you may have regarding what will our practices look like coming back. And so we don't know yet if we're going to be getting back together in a week, 10 days, a couple of weeks, but as the world turns, right, as things begin to shift and we begin down that path of coming back, are there any questions that you guys already have? And maybe you could help us go ahead and build that agenda. You could put them in the chat. You could ask it in the Q&A, and then we'll save that. So that would map out for us what our discussion would be. So while people are thinking about those, again, I want to thank you guys for being here, because it's been, and when I say this, people will be like, man, that woman's out of touch. It's been 25 years since I was a dental office manager. And wow. So one of my opportunities from all this is, hey, when this comes back, I might be moonlighting in a couple of offices. But it's, as much as you try to empathize, right, or put yourself in someone else's shoes, I think it is so not only inspiring, but so needed to hear from you guys are in the trenches, right? I mean, you're the boots on the ground in all of this, and those of us that do the advising, right, we're trying to do what we can to help, but we don't know, right? We're not walking in your shoes. So I appreciate you guys investing the time. And Tiffany has said on here, needed the laughs and the inspiration. Thank you so much. So but what do you guys have on your mind already? And let's go ahead and map out the agenda, and you guys tuning in, feel free to chime in.
I think one thing I want to remind everyone to do now, obviously this is not a 2-week closure. I think that we had planned for. It's now extended, clearly. So definitely reach out to your distributors, your dental sales companies. A lot of them have checklists of what to do during extended office closures. Because when you are ready to reopen, you want to make sure that your equipment is in tip-top shape. So you might have to drain some sterilizers or CEREC or what have you. So reach out to them and they can help you a lot more with specifics for your practice. So don't forget that.
That's a great tip. It's a great tip.
And I think too, dentistry is going to look a lot different than it ever has. And so it'd be great if we can all brainstorm about what we kind of think that might look like so we can be prepared. And I know a lot of that's going to be the change in PPE, or maybe it's the protocol, how many patients we see and we can schedule. There's so many different aspects that are going to be coming up, and it'd be great to hear questions from everyone, asking what do we think that's going to look like? Because we are going to come back. We're going to come back better than ever. It will look different, but we're going to make it. We're going to make it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one other thing that I wanted to mention, and it's not an all-inclusive guide, right? It doesn't have as much information on it as you can find on ADOM, but we're putting together a dental practice recovery guide. I kept thinking we'd be further along with it, but we've been kind of in the weeds trying to help clients navigate some of the decisions about who do we keep on, how are we going to do this? What loans do we need? So this is all kind of new for us too. But if you guys have suggestions that you want included, I mean, not only the peanut butter, jelly, and chips, but those of you tuning in or listening, I think the Magical Dental Teams page is a great way. If you've got something that you want to share and you don't mind if that's included in that guide, and we'll, of course, it's a free PDF that we're going to put together. We'll, of course, give you credit for it. Let's work together and work the whole smarter, not harder. Let's be smarter together.
Agreed.
Tiffany made a comment, and then I'll see if you guys have any other comments before I do the reveal. Some of you may be disappointed when you find out what's in here. So she says the best gift we can give our teams is to have a viable practice to come back to, trying to find which systems to work on now and how we can involve our team to help with understanding the changes that are coming and what that might look for. So no, I totally agree. And I think one of the things, Christy, I agree. It's going to look different. Our schedules are going to be very different. I think if we've got an opportunity to capitalize on that when we first come back, because I believe that the demand for what we do, there are a lot of people that have missed coming in. They're going to be ready to come in, and we're going to go from, where we are now to, all right, now there's the stress of where are we going to put them?
Right.
So, okay.
Then,
all right.
Go ahead. Triaging our patients and getting the restoratives, the ones that were having to be put off. I mean, they're probably going to be the first ones that need to be seen. So what's that going to look like for our teams to protect them, protect our patients, all that fun stuff. But that's all for another visit.
It is. So any things like that, be sure I would post that in Magical Dental Teams or send us a message through that, which goes through my company, Dental Coaching Institute. So, all right. The points count for nothing other than fun, but who has some guesses? First of all, I will just share with you, it's not liquid.
Ooh.
Who has some guesses as to what may be in the bartender's shaker today? Something I wish I could do today.
You said dice.
I think Tiffany's right. I'm going with
Dice.
Tiffany. Yep. No?
It has a lot of the same color as dice.
Oh, Tiffany.
Marbles is a little closer.
Did you lose your mark?
Golf. It's golf. A ball. It's a golf ball. She loves to golf.
1,000 points to Shelly Oddie. They're my wiffle golf balls. And if it were drier outside in the backyard, it's still a little gunky. I would be out there smacking these things later today. So maybe in a day or two. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, who knows what will be in my shaker next time? Thank you guys so much, because I know even though we may not be doing what we normally do, time is the greatest asset that we have, right? Once it's gone, we can't get it back. But I appreciate you guys so much. I am blessed to know you. I love your drive, your enthusiasm, just, your wisdom, your willingness to share, and your willingness to be real. It's been pretty freaky. I mean, a lot of us have been freaked out. There's some comfort in being able to see one another and in being able to be together. And I just thank you all. I thank you, ladies. I'm not going to get teared up. I might later, but look at Shelley, but I'm not now.
I'm the crier.
Any parting words from peanut butter, jelly, and chips?
I think we should all howl as we go out.
I think we should.
That's a good one. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, all right, you ready? On 3, we'll howl.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh!